Okay, let's take a look at the market. These are the S&P 500 futures, and we're going to look at the weekly, the daily. We'll look at my trade that I made today, and then we'll look at also the trade of the day and some opportunities on the charts, okay? So here on the weekly chart, just started today's Monday, so got a little candlestick there, range of 25 and 3/4. Hit all-time highs today on the futures here of this March contract, which is the current contract. Some people probably who don't know much about futures, and they hear contract, a lot of people immediately equate that to be, oh, it must be the same as options, but they're definitely not the same as options. Futures don't have strike prices. They don't really have decay. There's not a decay factor, but they do have an expiration date, which in a lot of ways makes this product much simpler to trade. You don't have to try to pick out you don't have to try to pick the perfect strike price, and hopefully you pick the right strike price, and you don't have to worry about whether it's a call or a put, which, okay, that's kind of basic stuff, but, and you definitely don't have to worry about decay. All right, so, and can you make as much money at futures as you can options? I would go on to say that over the long run, for me personally, I make way more money at futures than I ever did at options. Now, on any one given transaction or trade, options could outdo futures, especially if the market has a big movement. Then volatility spikes, and then you get a huge movement in options price. Yes, you could be more profitable than futures. But in the long run, I don't think you can beat futures. It's too consistent. The profits in futures, if you're doing it right anyway, and you're a good trader, will far outpace, in my opinion, the profit on options. So that's my take about that. And there was one thing I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was, but anyways. The other thing I was going to say is that, with futures, you can trade for most futures in most commodities. There are some exceptions, but most of them you can trade 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. Options, you can't really do that. You can only really trade them during the cash session, intraday. So just a whole lot of pluses to futures. So anyway, I just want to kind of mention that because I think some people get confused about futures. Let's get started here on the weekly chart. This cycle low didn't happen, obviously. I mean, you could technically say that was it, and that probably was it. That was the week of January 1, whereas this was the week of January 8th and January. So this cycle low never really transpired. Okay. It's kind of like that's kind of it. It happened like a week or two early. And so we had this little tiny dip in here. So it's within close proximity. So I would say the cycle low it wasn't the most accurate cycle low as far as the week goes, but it did happen. It just wasn't a big one. Now here at the end of March, we've got two cycles out here. Let's see what these are. Let me clear the screen here. Yeah, that one's March 31st, and this one is April 7th. So I think we're going to potentially see a pretty big decline down into here. But that's a ways off. And let's see, where's the middle of this cycle? This like middle of February. In the middle of this big green cycle is, well, let's see, it's 1 week from 1 week. So right here would be the theoretical halfway peak. In an ideal cycle, the peak would be right in the middle. Doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, but that is the middle of the cycle, which is next week. So we could begin to, unless this has been very bullish, obviously, extremely bullish, right? For like, what is this, 3 months? I mean, sorry, longer than that. October, yeah. Going on 3-4 months here, something like this. So, I mean, it could continue on, get up over here, and then be way up here. It might have some dips and other stuff in here, and then get way up here. It may. I'm not saying it's going to do this, but it could do this, get up to 5,000, and then pull back. Late in the cycle. That's common, especially in bullish When you have a bullish run like this, the cycle will go strong all the way, and in the end it'll pull back. However, if it just starts kind of petering out here and loses some gas, and we start seeing it kind of going sideways, and it starts doing one of these, and then like that, that means this decline out in here would be probably deeper. If it gets way up in here, then the decline won't be as deep. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, let's take a look at the daily. This cycle right here, this January 21st cycle, really wasn't that far off. It wasn't that bad. It came on the 17th, which this was a weekend. I think this was a Sunday. So I said it would be either on that Friday or the Monday. Well, it ended up happening like on a Wednesday instead of the Friday. So, it was 2 to 3 days early, but that's okay. This little cycle low right here happened. And it wasn't much of a cycle though, but it did happen. So we had this one here, and we had this one here low early. Obviously, this thing's been monster mashing, as we saw in the weekly. Here it is on the daily. Just continuing to do its thing, which is pretty awesome. Lots of profit taking going on all through this whole entire thing. Okay, but up in here, this is, it's kind of like, it doesn't mean it's ran out of gas yet, but when you see this kind of like waffling going on, that means the market's not as strong as it was all the way through here. Look how strong this was in this area. It didn't even pull back at all. It just went straight sideways and up again. But this time we didn't get that. We did get some small pullbacks in here, right? So that's, and I want to show you that. That's kind of important to understand. This versus this. See the difference? This is very strong, and this is still kind of strong, but it's weaker than that. That's important to understand that. So, this may still take off and go up into the 4900s and maybe even 5,000, and we'll see what it does when it gets up there. Okay, but this is a small sign that it's not quite as strong as it was down in here, right? That's all I'm really trying to say there. Okay, so January 31st, I don't expect too much on this cycle low. We could get a surprise. I'm going to leave it on there for now. Okay, and then this one is 2.8. Go ahead and put that on there. Duplicate. We're getting kind of close to that. Let me put it over here. And we'll put this as purple. The old purpley. This is going to be, February 8th. And then we'll just throw that color on there so we know what it is. Yeah, February 8th. Then February 25th. And then look at all this out here, guys. March 11th. March 13th. March 13th, oh, that's interesting. Sorry, March 13th. March 19th, look at this hot mess. This could be where we really see a decline here. These cycles may change as we get out there, but for right now, this is that like third week of March, third week of March. Oh my gosh, this thing is like right at the moment, it looks like it's gonna be a really hot spot for a price decline. Okay. What are my thoughts for tomorrow? Well, if you want to know, become a member. Because I'm not going to give it away every day I do public videos. Okay? The members in the email tonight are going to know my thoughts about tomorrow. So I'm not always going to give away information to the public about what I think the market's going to do, because that's going to be reserved for the members. Sometimes I'll say it, sometimes I won't. So if you want it consistently, become a member. Stick around to the end of the video. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, let's switch over to my trade, and we'll finish up the video after that with some of the charts, looking at the trades of the day. Okay. All right, here is my last trade of the day. I had quite a few I had 9 different trades in the last, well, not 24 hours, whatever it's been, 16, 18 hours. Made $1,275. It was a nice profitable day. Trading a little more contracts than I like, but the market was very tight today, only a range of 25 3/4 or 0.75. So the market was tight. So extracting $1,200, almost $1,300 on a tight range day is not always easy. You have to do a little bit more trading to make that happen. It's no big deal. There's commission there, but whatever. The commission is nowhere near, obviously, what the profits are, so no biggie. And here you notice I had some... on this chart, when I took the snapshot, I had some lines drawn here. I was talking to some of the members and saying, how this was my last trade, was right in this area here. How was how did I make this trade and why I made it? I made it because it was obvious that there was a pattern going on here, right? This is a rejection pattern that repeats itself. Comes up. This was the 5-minute chart. This blue line is the 50. So it's like 250 minutes, or I guess it's approximately 4 hour. It's getting rejected off the 4 hour line, or the 50 on the 5-minute chart, however you want to do that. I prefer to do the 50 on the 5-minute chart, just makes life easy for me. It got rejected, came down, got up, got rejected, came down, came up. I was busy doing some stuff during all this. I couldn't trade during here because, whatever the day job called. But I had a little break in the action, took a little break, and I had an opportunity here kind of late morning to take a break, and I caught some of this right up in here for a little bit of profitability. And that was my last trade of the day. Some of this was from last night. Some of it was early in the morning, whatever. So there you go. There's my trades all added up in one day. Happy camper. Really, really nice. Okay, let's take a look at the charts for some of the great opportunities I think it came up today. I call that the trades of the day, or the trade of the day. Let's look at that right now. All right, so here we are on the 5-minute chart. This is probably the best chart for the trades of the day. Here over here was Sunday night open session for futures at 5 p.m. my time here in Texas, and it runs all the way over to here. Okay, so this is, from 5 o'clock p.m. last night all the way to whatever, 4 p.m., 23 hours being expressed here on 5 minutes at a time, okay? So we're just giving you some context here. Okay, let's look at the most reasonable trades. Last night I made a little, right at the opening, there's a little bar right there. Kind of hard to see right now. Let me stretch this out. Stretch this out here. So right here was, I noticed when it opened up, I kind of had a feeling this was going to bounce. I took advantage of this, made a little scalp right here. Doesn't really qualify as a trade of the day, but just sometimes you get a little action right there at the open for the night session. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This one was at 8:10 in the morning. Yeah, this one right here. And I was up, and here's the purple candlestick, really nice, because you get both the Gittes plus indicator, and I added this logic in there the other day. One of the members asked for this. Thought it was a good idea, so I implemented this logic change. And now when you see a purple candlestick, you see one here, you see one here, you see one here, you see one over here, okay? That matches up with the Gittes plus indicator. Some people like that kind of visual right on the candlestick chart themselves itself, okay? So anyway, when this Gittes plus indication came up here at 8:10 in the morning, a little purple candlestick came up. I got into this trade. I think it was somewhere right around these candlesticks right here. I got in. And it ran up, and I made some profit right there. This was really nice. I actually traded this. Okay, when it got up in here somewhere a little before this, I got out of the position, somewhere up in there. Okay. And then even though there was, this purple candlestick and this Gittes plus indicator right here, which obviously happened at the same time, I took a trade on that too. I waited a little bit. I think it was the next candlestick. It was somewhere in here. Okay, stretch this out just a little bit more. Okay. So on this alert, so I made a trade going up into this. I got out. I waited a little bit. This happened, right? This Gittes plus alert happened. I think it was on this candlestick. I took a trade, short side trade. I had to sweat it out a little bit as it went up. No big deal. That was like, about that's quite a bit, like 93-ish up to 98. So those 5 points I had to wait out here. Eventually turned around, and I don't know if it was in this candlestick or somewhere over here, but I got out of the position. Okay. And then I was pretty busy for the rest of the day. I didn't do any trading, I think, until there was another trade in here somewhere, but I don't remember. But basically, let's talk about this one right here. This one's really nice. I didn't trade this one, but look at this. This is perfect. I mean, all three of these are just so spot on. This one's at the bottom. This one's at the top. This one's at the bottom. I mean, okay. You're just waiting for this SMI to, here you wait for the SMI to curl up, take the trade. Here you wait for the SMI to curl over, take the trade. Here the SMI curls up, take the trade. Now sometimes you'll get these curls up, but you won't get an alert. See how there's no alerts over here? There's no alerts over here. Even though this is curled up, you could still make this trade here if you wanted to, but there wasn't an associated alert. The logic's like, no. It didn't have enough confidence to think this was a good trade. It doesn't always get it right. Obviously that was a good trade. Okay. But anyway, these three here were all just banging. Really good trades. And then at the end of the day, today I'm telling you, even though today's total range was only 25, there were so many opportunities to make money today. This last one over here was really also very good. This was at 2:25 in the afternoon. I saw this, but I was busy. I didn't get a chance to trade it. Purple candlestick comes up, market turns, goes down. Look at this, man. What a beauty. Okay, about 5, 6, 7 points. Maybe you catch maybe 4 of this. Just a nice way to finish the day right there. So really all these, this one, that one, this one, and this one, these were all excellent trades of the day. There wasn't one of these that disappointed. They were all excellent. Very good. So just goes to show you, even on a day where the range was only just shy of 26, you can still make some really good money. You just have to get your timing and direction right, yeah? And of course, the Giddus Plus indicator, and now with the purple candlestick, you know, there's some, in my opinion, there's some decent logic here that's helping you indicate that there might be, you know, potential trades when these alerts come up along with the purple candlestick. You know, pay attention to that. They're not always perfect. Like, you know, this one's the end of the day, so that's garbage. Like on trade, that's tapering off towards the end of the day, doing nothing. You just ignore it. And it isn't always perfect. Like this one was pretty good, but it wasn't perfect. Like I said, I had to wait out 5 points, which is, you know, that was quite a bit of money I had to wait. This was an unrealized loss running here, and then eventually it turned to make good. Okay, so the timing may not always be exactly perfect, but you know, you can, you know, like this could trick you a little bit. See how this pulled down and you think, oh, I'm going to jump in, and then it goes up again. And that can happen sometimes. But that's part of being a trader, and you got to navigate these kind of things, right? All right, super cool. All right, so if you want to become a member, there is a link in the description right below this video on YouTube. Make sure you read the description very carefully. There's some instructions in there. If you do what those instructions say, you probably shouldn't have any problem joining, okay? So make sure you read them carefully. Once you're done doing that, click on the Discord link. Brings you over to this Giddus server. This is my server. This is where all the services take place for the members. Okay, then you're going to click on Server Shop. Come over here. $7.99 per month. Okay, this is like extremely, and I'm not just saying this. I really mean this. This is an extreme value. Extreme value. You're getting a lot for $7.99. You get the streaming charge down here, which includes, as we saw in the trade of the day, you get the 5-minute chart with the Giddus Plus indicator. There's also a 15-minute chart, and there's a 1-hour chart. They all have the Giddus Plus indicator on there and a purple candlestick. On the 1-hour chart, there's cycle analysis on there, so I have the cycles on there, which I think, if I remember right today, the cycle at it was a 1 o'clock cycle again, and it actually was very good. I think the low was around 12:30, so the cycles on a 1-hour chart have been banging. They've been really good. So you get 3 different streaming charts here, 5, 15-minute, and 1 hour. Okay, in addition to the Giddus Plus indicator and the little purple candlestick that shows you there might be a potential trade, there's also an alert that gets sent over to this alert channel. So if you're busy and you can't watch the streaming charts, you can get alerted. This app can be loaded, you know, on your desktop, your laptop, your mobile phone. Okay, so that's very convenient. And then so that's streaming charts and the alerts that go with it. These right here just have alerts only, no streaming charts. But they do get alerts. That's gold, crude oil, top 30 stocks for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And then there's some daily only alerts here, which for like swing traders. The premium symbols channel, every day I put anywhere from 2 to 4 files worth of symbols in there. Could be futures, optionable stocks. There might be industry symbols in there, and some symbols that look like they might be getting ready to be shortable, okay, or shorted. That's that. Currency, occasionally I trade currency. Mostly I trade the futures, But if I do trade the futures, it would probably be applicable to Forex traders as well, okay? In this channel, Get Us Only Post this where I put the video link and I let the members know that emails have been sent out for the night. So this is read only. You can go in there, but you can't change anything. You can't comment or anything on this channel. It's my channel only, but you can look at it. Here is the emails only channel. So if you want to get on the nightly email, which includes the daily chart of the S&P 500 with this daily cycles on there, and also my commentary about my opinion about what I think the market's going to do. So if you're a member, you're not getting emails, nightly emails, you want to, put your email in here. If you're going to become a new member today or at any time in the future, and you want the nightly email, make sure you drop your email in this channel, okay? Okay, solar activity has a lot to do with my universe indicator, which I use that as part of my commentary for that nightly email, and I will tonight again. Fixed income, I do buy corporate bonds from time to time. So when I do, I put those in there. And any other fixed incomes I might be taking a look at would go in this channel. And then these two channels here are just general chat. Most of the chat goes on the SP 500 and some of it goes into member chat. Now, if you have a support issue, you're a current member, you have a support issue. If it's for email, put it here. So if you have a support issue regarding email, put it in this channel, emails only. All their support, put it in member chat. Okay, don't put it in SP 500 because this is just for talking SP 500 mostly. Just put it in the member chat. Okay, so this is everything you get for the $7.99. This little $7.99 gets you all these channels and everything I just talked about. Okay, that's all service. All this is members only. Okay, these channels are locked to anybody else. Nobody else can get in these channels unless they're paying for the membership. So this is members only channels. Okay, this one's open to the public, but there's nothing in there. It's more like welcome to the server kind of thing. Okay, the rules. Please read the rules. I go through this every time because a lot of people don't read the rules. You got to read the rules. Okay. The rules are in here. There's the be nice to everybody else rules. If you're being a jerk on the server, you're posting nasty pictures, saying nasty things, things I don't like, I'm going to warn you. Okay. If it's really bad, I might just kick you. If you keep doing it, you're going to get banned. Okay. So don't do that. Be nice. All right, and here's also the refund rules, and there's a disclaimer in there as well that I'm not a financial advisor, guys and gals. I only give my opinion only. Okay. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. Again, if you want to become a member, click on the Discord link below this video, then come to Server Shop, then come to this page right here. Okay. All right, happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.